Chapter 1, 134, 7th year, Valentine's Day, 1978. Monday, February 13th, 1978.
You know,
Lily yawned.
other boyfriends might take the night before Valentine's Day to plan something nice for their girlfriends, rather than an assault on other students.
Thought we were calling it a practical joke, Evans.
Sirius winked.
Anyway, how do you know what other boys are doing? We're the only boys you know, and we're doing this.
Touché.
Lily poked her tongue out at him from where she sat cross-legged on James's bed.
And,
James said, sitting on the floor beside Remus, folding envelopes as fast as Remus could stuff them.
how do you know I haven't already planned something nice?
When do you have the time?
She shrugged.
Whenever you're not with me, you're playing Quidditch.
I can multitask.
He said, haughtily, a mischievous twinkle in his eye. Remus gave James a sideways glance. He couldn't account for any of James's free time either, but it was best never to underestimate James Potter.
How about you, Pete?
Mary asked, sitting on James's other side, neatly stacking the envelopes he handed her and ticking names off the list.
Big plans for tomorrow?
Nope.
Peter replied glumly. He was lying on his stomach on his bed, frantically completing the charms notes due for the next day. He'd dropped a few hints to Remus about copying them, but Remus had pretended not to understand, and eventually poor Wormtail had dropped it and just resigned himself to doing a poor job.
What about Dorcas?
Mary pressed.
Dumped me.
Oh, poor love.
She cooed.
At least I won't be the only single one.
Really?
Pete looked up, hopefully.
Yep, dumped that stupid Hufflepuff.
Mary nodded, bent over her work.
Oh well, if you fancied dinner, maybe.
Peter started. Mary shook her head.
Oh no, sorry, Pete. I'm triple booked as it is. It'll be a miracle if none of them bump into each other.
Oh.
Peter returned to his homework, looking even more depressed than before. Lily stifled a giggle, but Mary seemed oblivious. Cheer up, Pete, we still love you. Remus offered, stuffing his very last envelope and handing it to James. Me and Padfoot'll have dinner with you.
So basically exactly the same as every other night of the year.
Sirius teased.
You two not doing anything then?
Mary asked casually. It felt like a loaded question all the same, and Remus found it hard to ignore the glances his friends were now shooting at each other. He looked up at Sirius and said, very firmly, "Don't even think about it." Sirius's face cracked into a smile.
I think Valentine's Day is Mooney's idea of hell.
Exactly. Remus nodded solemnly. Let the girls have flowers and hearts. He had plenty else going on, thank you very much.
Oh, I think that's a shame.
Mary said, crossing the last name off her list and stretching her legs out on the rug, lying back on her elbows.
Valentine's Day can be nice if you do it right.
Remus smirked at her. Doing it right to Mary meant receiving votive offerings from her various acolytes, a fantasy in which she was Aphrodite and all would pay homage. Nope, not interested, he said, stretching his own stiff legs. Just a normal day.
Sirius likes it.
Mary said slyly.
He was always dead romantic.
When we weren't fighting.
Sirius interjected. Remus looked at him and realised he had never actually considered whether or not the other boy was interested in celebrating the day. He'd just assumed they were on the same page.
Anyway, that was different.
Peter mused, sucking the nib of his quill and getting ink on his lip.
What was?
Mary asked.
When Padfoot was going out with you.
Peter replied.
Obviously he did all the mushy stuff then.
Obviously.
Lily spoke up. Remus cringed. He could see where this was going. The redhead had her hackles up. It didn't happen often, but when it did, it always ended in a scolding.
What do you mean, Peter?
Peter saw it coming too, but bless him. He tried to explain himself.
I wasn't being nasty.
He said,
It's just, well, it's not the same thing, is it?
Yes, it is.
Mary frowned. James was clearly annoyed too. Remus sighed inwardly. He looked up at Sirius, who shrugged at him. Remus held out his hand, and Sirius hopped off the bed to take it, pulling Remus to his feet. Remus cleared his throat. If you've all finished discussing our relationship amongst yourselves. They all looked up sheepishly.
Sorry, Mooney.
Sorry, Remus.
Let's move on, shall we? Remus raised an eyebrow and leaned against his bedpost with his hands in his pockets. He nodded at the pile of sealed envelopes. We need to pass those around tomorrow, as soon as. I think probably best to do it at breakfast, so it gets mixed in with the regular post and doesn't look suspicious. This was met with a murmur of general agreement. Don't forget, the ink only becomes legible when the right person gives their name. Remus continued. He went over to his bedside table for his matchbox of cigarettes and slid one out.
That was such a good idea. I can't believe you did it so quickly,
Mary said. She didn't know that the spell they'd used was exactly the same as the one on the Marauders' map, and they weren't going to tell her.
You are in the presence of greatness, MacDonald,
Sirius said, taking Remus's cigarette the second he'd lit it. Remus sighed and pulled out another.
At least open a window if you have to smoke in here.
James sighed.
We have to smoke in here.
Sirius said, flicking his wand at the window so that they flung wide open.
Because our poxy head boy banned smoking in the common room.
All the prefects voted on that, actually,
Lily said wryly.
See, Mooney?
Sirius nudged him with his hip.
This is why you should have stayed a prefect. You could have been the voice of dissent.
Truly tragic. Remus exhaled smoke.
Right, I'm off to bed then.
Mary said, getting up, lifting the pile of invitations and setting them down on James's trunk.
I'm looking forward to this. Be nice to have something else to think about.
I'll come with you.
Lily said, getting up too.
Shall I walk you back?
James leapt to his feet. Both girls giggled as if he had said something charming rather than ridiculous.
I'll keep her safe on the arduous journey across the common room, Potter,
Mary teased. Still, Lily and James spent the next 5 minutes bidding each other goodbye, which involved a lot of snogging. When Mary finally managed to drag her friend away, Lily was pink and grinning.
Love you.
She called on her way down the stairs.
Love you too.
James called back. Sirius began to make sick noises, which made Peter start laughing, but Remus just watched James's dopey expression. He hadn't heard them say, I love you before. He didn't think he'd ever heard anyone say it, actually, not anyone he cared about, at least. He'd seen it written down, in books, and in the letter from Hope, but neither of those things had felt as tangible as this. How long had they been saying that? As long as they'd been feeling it. Was it hard to say the first time? Remus thought it must be, like casting a Patronus. He finished his cigarette in a contemplative mood while the others moved around him, finishing homework and changing for bed. He supposed he could ask Sirius about the whole love thing, but he wasn't sure he wanted to open that can of worms. They were happy as they were, weren't they? It was just getting comfortable, now that their friends knew. Plus, after 2 years of pining and almost a year of secrecy, Remus wanted to just enjoy what they had, without all of that prescriptive stuff hanging over them. Remus knew from experience that it was best to resist the temptation to pick things like that apart, especially something as precious and hard-won as he and Sirius had. The problem was, once you started, you might never remember how it worked in the first place. He brushed his teeth still thinking and wandered towards Sirius's bed to sit and wait for him.
Finished.
Peter cried, raising his quill with a flourish.
Finally.
Well done, Pete.
James yawned, climbing into bed.
I didn't get to help you lot, though.
Peter said, looking at the pile of envelopes wistfully. That's okay, this is only preliminary work. Remus offered. The real planning starts on Wednesday.
Exactly.
James nodded encouragingly.
Anyway, don't feel bad. Padfoot didn't help either.
Oi.
Sirius came out of the bathroom at that moment.
I wrote the damn things. Where would you lot be without my beautiful penmanship? And I don't recall Mrs. Prongs doing anything either.
He had taken to calling Lily this in private, he wouldn't dare to her face, with the full knowledge that it annoyed James. The messy-haired boy just rolled over in bed, flicking his middle finger in Sirius's direction. Sirius chuckled and got into his own bed. Remus got in too, still deep in thought.
Night, lads!
Sirius called, drawing the curtains shut.
Night.
Night!
Peter and James echoed back. In the dark, Sirius held Remus's hand, and they smiled at each other sleepily.
You're very quiet,
Sirius whispered.
Everything okay?
Yeah, Remus whispered back. Just thinking. Prank stuff.
Good.
Serious?
Remus.
You know Valentine's Day.
Heard of it?
Did you want to, what Mary said?
I knew that would get you wound up. I could practically see your brain start to overheat.
Piss off. Remus kicked his shin. I'm just asking.
Mary loved all that stuff. Presents and flowers and cards and shit. I liked doing it for her because it made her happy. You'd hate it, so I won't.
It's just so public, Remus said.
I know. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Remus.
What?
Stop worrying.
Fine, I believe you.
Anyway, it's not even a real thing.
Sirius said thoughtfully.
Valentine's Day. I looked it up.
It's real to muggles, isn't it? Remus frowned. He couldn't say he'd given it much thought.
There was a bloke called Valentine, but there's nothing especially romantic about it. But I did find out some other stuff, about the Romans.
Why can't you apply this thirst for knowledge to your actual schoolwork?
Ugh, don't be so boring. Anyway, have you heard of the Lupercalia?
Remus felt a sinking feeling in his stomach and let go of Sirius's hand. I don't want to talk about wolf stuff right now.
You have heard of it?
Sirius sounded pleased. No, I just know the Latin for wolf because it's my bloody name.
Oh, right. It's not what you think. It's a festival.
Okay.
And it's really cool. There are blood sacrifices, and running around naked, and...
I'm going to sleep.
But you like history.
Shut up, Padfoot. He wants to go to sleep.
James shouted from across the room.
And so do I.
Yeah.
Peter echoed.
Mind your own business.
Sirius shouted back. Sonoro quieses. Remus muttered, creating a dry bubble of silence inside the bed. He still whispered when he spoke, though, because it was weird to talk a normal volume in the dark. I said I didn't want to talk about wolf stuff. God.
I was only trying to make you feel better about Valentine's Day.
I didn't feel badly about it in the first place.
Okay, sorry, I misread you.
Sirius was whispering too, but loudly, obviously annoyed.
You were all quiet about it, and I wanted to cheer you up. I thought you were jealous of Lily and James.
Jealous?
That's the wrong word. You were just... I saw you watching them, kissing and stuff, and being all mushy. And I know you hate public displays of affection, but I don't know. It's not like we have a choice either way.
Remus blinked in the dark, rolling back over to see Sirius's face. It bothers you, doesn't it? It had to, because it had never bothered Remus before. Suddenly he realized what it had all been about.
A bit, maybe,
Sirius replied, honestly. Remus fumbled under the duvet for his hand again. Tuesday, February 14th, 1978. The next morning, James and Sirius were nowhere to be found. Remus presumed they had left early for Quidditch practice. It was a bright, sunny day, despite a chill in the air. After a few minutes of deep thought, Remus rifled in his bedside drawer for his very last chocolate frog and bunged it in his pocket before heading downstairs. The rest of the Gryffindors awoke to find that in the night, the house elves had decorated their common room with garlands of red and pink paper hearts, something which seemed to divide all of the students.
It's hardly appropriate in a school.
Christopher grumbled, meeting Remus and Mary on their way out of the portrait hole.
Oh, I think it's lovely.
Mary sighed cheerily. She was subtly dressed for the occasion, wearing a red ribbon in her hair and red enamel studs in each earlobe. Christopher shook his head grimly at her.
If it were a proper holiday, like Christmas or Easter or something.
But why do wizards celebrate those things? Remus cut in thoughtfully as they progressed towards the dining hall. Every corridor was also decked out in pink and red crepe paper, and there seemed to be music coming from somewhere. None of the purebloods I've met are Christians, or even know anything about Jesus, or the Easter Bunny, or...
The Easter what?
Christopher was staring at him as if he was mad.
Don't bother, Remus.
Mary laughed.
Lily and I tried back in first year. We're not supposed to ask.
Christopher's mood did not improve as they entered the great hall, which was bathed in a rosy pink glow by a collection of candles floating inside red glass lanterns. Fresh flowers had been placed in vases on every table, and pink envelopes flew back and forth over the heads of the students, Valentine's cards looking for their recipient.
For goodness sake.
Christopher muttered, taking his seat and pouring himself a very black coffee. It's only one day, Remus said, lifting the teapot, which was also pink. No sooner had they sat down than a pile of pink envelopes fluttered into Mary's lap, making her squeal with delight. Remus grinned too. He pulled out his own envelopes and whispered an incantation, tossing them into the air so that they mingled with the others flying above them.
Here you go, Chris.
Remus tossed one across the table.
It's not a Valentine, promise.
Oh, what is it?
Christopher held the blank envelope warily.
An invitation.
Remus winked.
Give it your name, but don't share it, okay?
Okay.
Good morning.
Lily appeared, looking cheerful as usual, clutching a book on advanced potions.
Anyone seen Potter?
Quidditch pitch?
Remus raised his head.
Nope.
Lily shrugged.
I thought so too, but Ravenclaw booked it this morning.
He and Padfoot were gone when I woke up,
Remus said.
That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Lily replied, taking her seat. No sooner than she had sugared her porridge than a loud pop echoed over their heads and everyone looked up. Those students who hadn't immediately dived for cover beneath their breakfast tables began oohing and ahing as a rather spectacular fireworks display began over their heads. The bursts of colour took the form of gigantic glittering love hearts, and the embers which rained down turned out to be pink and white flower heads.
Lilies!
Mary said gleefully as one settled on her pile of cards.
Oh, no!
Christopher wailed.
I'm allergic!
He sneezed before aiming his wand upwards and gasping,
Protego!
to defend himself against the fluttering blooms.
I don't believe this.
Lily was blushing harder than Remus had ever seen her. He grinned.
You were asking for it, I'm afraid.
I'd have been happy with a card.
She hissed as the final fireworks died out and the last of the lilies sailed to the floor like great pink snowflakes, filling the room with their lovely scent.
Oh, shut up, Evans.
Mary tutted.
It's bloody gorgeous of him.
Cheers, MacDonald.
James appeared at Lily's shoulder with Sirius.
You utter idiot!
Lily stood up and wound her arms around James's neck, kissing him. Remus wasn't watching this display, though. He was watching Sirius, who flicked his wand behind James's back. The flowers which had gathered on the table, those which Chris had not tried to clear anyway, began to move again and gathered together in front of Lily's plate. With another soft little pop, the pile had transformed into a large box, emblazoned with even more lilies.
What's that?
Lily turned, leaning over to get a closer look.
Open it and see.
James was grinning ear to ear, clearly utterly chuffed with himself. Christopher sneezed again and blew his nose, but was roundly ignored as Mary and Remus stood up to get a better look. Lily, still pink and smiling, carefully lifted the lid of the box, and everyone leaned in. On a red velvet pillow, with a bow around its neck, was a tiny little charcoal grey kitten with huge yellow eyes.
Oh!
Lily gasped, reaching in immediately to pick up the meowing creature and cuddle it close.
Really, Potter? You got me a cat. I love him. Or her.
Him.
James nodded.
I know your old family one died last Christmas, and Hagrid told me a litter was born in the village last week, so...
Oh, he's so sweet.
Mary reached over to stroke the kitten's head.
Oh, for Merlin's sake.
Christopher stood up, clutching his handkerchief to his nose.
I'm allergic to cats too. Bloody stupid day.
With that, he got up and stormed away, further up the table.
Such a shame.
Sirius smirked, taking his empty seat.
Morning, Moony.
Morning, Padfoot.
Remus smiled. The rest of breakfast was spent cooing over Lily's new kitten and trying to choose a name. Remus kept a polite distance, just in case. He'd had bad experiences with cats in the past and didn't fancy any new scratches today, no matter how tiny its claws were. Soon, everyone was getting up to go to their various lessons, while arguing over who ought to look after the kitten that morning, and Sirius fell into step with Remus.
Walk you to history.
He offered.
Oh, I don't need to go.
Remus replied slyly.
It's a drop-in lesson for NEWTs.
But you always go to your lessons.
Sirius replied.
Even the optional ones.
I know, but you're always telling me to relax, so...
Remus covertly pulled his little matchbox out of his robe pocket and tapped it. Sirius raised an eyebrow.
As much as I really love Stoned Moony, what's brought on the rebelliousness?
Does there have to be a reason?
Remus shrugged. He glanced around quickly to check that no one was listening too intently, but they were all pretty absorbed in their various cards and gifts. He slipped the chocolate frog into Sirius's pocket.
Happy Valentine's Day, wanker.
He had never seen Sirius Black blush like that,